one of our nonprofit organizations here in St. Louis called FreshStart. And Steve Coffee, the best presenter name for 1 Million Cups ever. We're all about coffee. That's 1 million cups of coffee is the meaning of the event. So he's got the best name of any presenter I've ever had here. So I'll let Steve take it away. Transfer of power.
This is our coffee.
Okay.
Got a cup already?
All right, here, clicker
All right.
and so the video can pick it up.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Steve Coffey, and it's C-O-F-F-E-Y. It's not E-E. So everybody that tries to write the name has to figure out which way to spell it. I represent FreshStart, and FreshStart is a non-profit. It is a social enterprise, and it is dedicated towards helping end poverty in the St. Louis city area. And they do that through providing employment for men and women who have experienced life on the street. They've been on the street without homes for a variety of different reasons, and they're trying to change their life, but society and other people don't always give them the opportunity. And so Fresh Start tries to fill in that gap where we provide an opportunity for somebody to make a living and get off the street. And I'll talk a little bit more about it, but that's the core issue of what we're trying to do. Here with me today is Cheryl McNeil and Beth Coffey, my other half that makes me better. They are also volunteers for the project. I really enjoy talking to groups like this because you've got three attributes that many groups don't always have. One, you're socially conscious. Two, you represent a thrust in entrepreneurship, people that are interested in doing things and participating. And then three, you love dogs. I've saw one individual that brought her dog in. When I talked to Kathleen Bauer about this at downtown St. Louis annual meeting, that she talked about how many dogs actually are in the office space down here. And I told her we really need to be down here if we possibly can, because we are all about dogs. Dogs support the people. So try to walk you through a little bit of what it is. We are a non-profit social enterprise. That means all of us are volunteers. None of the people that are involved receive a single dollar of compensation. All of the revenue that is generated goes to pay salaries for the individuals that participate that have been on the street. This is a little more formal definition of what our mission is. It's to defeat homelessness locally by providing employment, social skills, as well as connecting with other social services and housing networks. The goal is to get people off the street and to keep them off the street. So we try to provide the employment and then try to put a network together with other people that provide housing, social services, etc. So we're not duplicating, we're connecting with those other networks. We prepare exceptionally high quality protein dog food treats that improve their pets' health and life. And really what we do is transform the person's life because we give them employment, and we transform the dog's life because we elevate the quality of food that they receive. So we pay all of the individuals that work with us $10 an hour. That's the core of what we do. We generate that $10 an hour salary through the sale of our product. So it's a cycle. We make a product, the individuals make that product, we sell it, and then the revenue that's generated from that sale provide the funds for us to hire that person. Okay, this is just to reiterate, products are so named because they help change the life of the individual as well as the dogs. We're a non-profit, as I said, $10 an hour with the wage. Our products, what we make, is the reason we call it such a high quality product is because we make dog food. It's called raw dog food. It's an ancestral diet, if you look on the website. And it's basically animals, wolves, dogs in the wild kill their meat, their prey, and they ate the food raw. What we do, and we're just one of many that is part of this raw dog food mission, is that we make the food, we freeze it, and then sell it as a product that is a whole quality service. It's AFCO tested. All of the food is indeed fully vetted as far as having a full nutrition for a healthy diet. But we grind up the organ meat, beef, heart, and liver. Very little fat. It's primarily protein. We mix that with some vegetables, all organic. That becomes almost like a hamburger. We grind it up, mix the peas, carrots, yams, and blueberries. Those are all organic food. Those are items that are mixed with it and therefore there because of the skin coat and hair, as well as digestive elements. There are no fillers. That food is then frozen in what we call little hockey pucks. Those are 3-ounce servings, and they are packaged in a larger bag. This gives, we have 2 products. One is beef and one is lamb. On the beef, we still have the organic grass-fed beef that is hearts and liver. Then we get through the organic vegetables. We add some nutrients, Norwegian kelp, to apple cinnamon vinegar, amino acids. We add glycosamine, turmeric for joints, and then NuPro, which is trace elements for all the other supplemental needs that are necessary. We also make lamb hearts and liver and do a similar list of materials. In that case, we used to have quinoa, and I need to change this. We took quinoa out only because it's a grain, and some people ask that their dogs not have any grain at all in the product. But we do put pumpkin, carrots, blueberries, and peas. We again have the trace elements of the various elements that are part of the food. Packaging comes in a couple different forms. When we sell the raw frozen food, it's in 2 and 5 pound containers. It is frozen, so you can take it home, put it in your freezer, and then as you want to feed your dog, you take out one or multiple of those frozen 3-ounce pucks, let them thaw, and your dog eats it. It is a replacement for your dry kibble and or other type of product, because the reason it's so good is because the body absorbs, the digestive system of the animal absorbs all of the food at a much higher level. The value is that they receive the protein and the vegetables, they have less poop, and they have less odor. And if for big dogs, it's a big deal. Small dogs, not so big. But we also sell it in, we take that same frozen product and dehydrate it, and it looks like a beef jerky. We've got some samples, and for your dog, if you want to come up later on, we'll share them. But what it does is it looks like a beef jerky. We take that same product, dehydrate it, and then that becomes a treat. So it's an enhancement, and hopefully your dog will really like it. We work at a number of different places, and 99.9% of the dogs just go crazy about it. But we sell it in 4-ounce and 8-ounce pack for beef, and then we also have lamb as the other product. How can you help? Because we are a nonprofit, we're always looking for volunteers, we're always looking for opportunities to sell, because the more you sell, the greater we have revenue we've got, and we can employ people at a larger rate. What we do is you can work with our staff. These are some of the people that have been part of our program. We work out of St. Louis University Solace Center kitchens on Grand and Lafayette, just north of 44th. And also, we're a neighbor of you just down the street on Olive at 1610 centenary kitchens. Used to be where food was, pantry was there, and they served 3,000 meals a week. Now that's moved down to Biddle House, where the city is running the operation, but we still operate out of their kitchen. So we serve in both of those locations. You can come down, work with our staff as they make the food. You can share a meal with the staff. These are real people. The personalization, so that you understand the stories, changes your attitude towards why these people are there. People on the street are there because of multiple reasons. Some of them is their own poor choices in life. They made a choice when they were young, they got arrested, they did drugs, they were alcoholics, they got off the system. Some were victim of circumstances. At the recession we had in 2008 put a lot of people on the street that were otherwise fully employed, fully engaged, health insurance, other things, put them back. And they lost, and they were pushed out of the system. We work with the people that want to get back, want to make a difference in their life, and give them the opportunity, so they're motivated. Underwrite some of the purchase of equipment. We're nonprofit. Whatever we make, we take profits or donations, and we buy grinders, dehydrators, etc. We can always use some supplemental addition of help. You guys are talented. You've got talents all over the place from different areas, marketing, graphics, financial. Recommend locations to sell. Once you try our product, and we have samples up here for you to take. If you have a dog, please take it home, see if they really like it. I assure you they will. And then you recommend places for us to go. One of the things that we have as our outlets is Targo Farmers Market. We're there every Saturday morning. You can volunteer to hand out some food. This is one of the booths that we've got, and those are some of the people that come by and pick up our samples and purchase our product. You can contact us on our website, Facebook, email. Those are some of the phone numbers of people. We'll have it here. We are selling the product at Straub's, at Fields Food, which is down near Lafayette Square. We've got Pets in the City, which is a pet store on Grand, just south of 44. Murphy's Mutts and Cuts, which is down on Cherokee. And then there's a Paw Fantastics or something, which is down off of Loughborough. It's a crazy name, but we've got a list of where it is. And so you can purchase there. We're hoping to have an outlet for you to purchase here. You can go online, pay for it, we'll deliver it down here, or come down here and have the product available whenever you would like us to be here. But it is it's a living example of the old starfish sample, the tail, where people are walking down the beach and they see thousands of starfish on the beach. And somebody picks up one of the starfish and throws it back into the ocean. And the other person that's with him complains and says, "Why are you doing that? There's thousands. You only throw in 2 or 3 or 5 or however many you can physically do." And the person that's with him that's doing the throwing back into the ocean says that it's making a difference to that one starfish. So you solve a problem, one starfish, one human life at a time. This organization is providing that one opportunity for an individual. We're trying to multiply it so that you get a whole slew of people, and we can change the course of how homelessness affects St. Louis, one person at a time. So, questions?
I'm going to switch mics with you because
Sure.
we have one movable one and one. So if you
Okay.
use the one that's wired, and I'll move around the talking baton. All right.
How long have you been doing this? And if it's necessary, like what have you planned to be able to do this for another 30, 40 years? Like, do you have like a long-term succession plan? Because it seems like the dog food market is relatively thick and good competition, and you just may have to outlast everybody else. So what is your plan? How long have you been doing it, and what's your plan to keep it going forward?
Okay. We've been doing this about 2.5 years. Started in a local church. We become a 501c3, so we're separate as not just affiliated with a single church. This is a scalable project. There's another business called Bridge Bread. Has anybody ever heard of that? Okay. Bridge Bread, and then I was with a group that started 3 different charities, 4 actually. And this is just one of them. Bridge Bread is about 5.5, 6 years old. What they do is they started out as centenary kitchens where we're at right now. And what they did is they took advantage of the kitchen staff, or kitchen facilities, made bread, brownies, cinnamon rolls, etc., and then sold them at churches, sold them at different stores. And now they've got a place on Cherokee, they've got a place at South Grand, St. Charles. So they've expanded. We feel that the model of making a product, be it bread, be it dog food, be it something that people will buy, making that and then taking the revenue and paying individuals to earn their keep is a scalable model. The dog food is a growing industry. We have tremendous competition. We've got Ralston Purina down the street, around the corner that supports you. They make good product. We make a better product, only because of the way the dogs absorb it and the quality of the food that we produce, because we use all protein. There's no fat in it. And it is a product that is fresh, and we know exactly what's in it because we're doing it here. We can do it this in St. Louis. We can grow. Our limitation is the number of resource outlets. So if we can get it in 30 pet stores and get nationwide distribution, we have an opportunity of growing and expanding where we are. But we could take this same program and work in Kansas City, Chicago, San Francisco, Atlanta. The model is a local charity serving other people. If you've got an opportunity, not always, but most of the people, if you've got an opportunity for a really high quality product that is commercially driven, profit oriented, and you've got another one that is, say, of equal quality, but has a social drive to it, many people will go for the one that is socially driven. So we have a marketing edge, if you will, but price point and other elements are certainly part of the competition. But the growth model is to be right now we have about 5 people that are involved in the actual production. We work a couple days a week. As we get more outlets and sell more, we're hoping to get up to 10 people a week and get to a 40-hour week. So it's growing, it is scalable, it's market driven.
Okay. Next question, because your question just got answered, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You answered this question. That's great. Any questions for Steve? Yeah. Dave.
This is great. My sister who passed away from many things, including addiction, in April, at the end of April, was homeless 8 months, I think, last year or the year before. And she loved dogs. This just would have been so good for her, and she just couldn't find a way out. And so my question for you is, as you're doing this, you're paying $10 an hour to people,
Right.
and we dealt with things like, okay, she would lose part of her disability money and her ability to stay in her apartment that we got her again after a while. So how do you deal with the fact that $10 an hour is not a lot to live on? Maybe enough, but would you kind of discuss that?
It, $400 a week, $1,600 a month is not a lot of money. It's not a living wage, but it is better than nothing.
And I think it was better than hers, was like 500 and something per month.
Yeah.
That was it.
We'd like to be able to do more. We just don't have the opportunity, or our price point is such that we can't generate as much profit. We do try to network. We've got BJC that we have with their cooperation. We work with Sunshine Mission, we work with the CC House. That's where we've had some referrals for our women. Our goal is not to provide long-term employment, but to give them a reference point to get them into the regimentation and repetitiveness of showing up on time. People that have been on addicts, we have not been 100% successful. We have had people that have been in our program 3-4 months and go back in. I've had a couple guys go back to jail that have been out. They fell off. Part of the problem is we only give them 16 to 20 hours of employment a week at this point. And so they don't show up, they're in the other several days that they're not working for us, they fall back. If we had 40 hours worth of work, we drill into their head their repetition. But we've had a very high success rate. We've had people that have moved on. We've people that moved on and then fell back. It is not easy. These are people that have had problems. And we have to accept that sometimes they're not going to accept everything. But if we don't try, they will never get better. And for the few that do make it back to the ocean, it really is a game changer. And it's wonderful to see those individuals and how they respond. So, yes, sir.
So, I probably don't need a microphone, but I could use one, I guess. I speak very loudly.
Barely hear you.
So I'll start with the funny piece, which is you use fresh in the product.
Yes.
So is the expiration date in human calendar or is it on dog years?
I would like to do dog years.
Dog years. Now that joke aside,
Yeah.
you're actually running sort of a restaurant. And I know it's dog products. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the meticulous record keeping and training of these individuals on your ingredients
Sure.
and on your product, because it's
Okay. To your point, we're not regulated by the health department. We're regulated by the Department of Agriculture. Having said that, we get our license to produce food through, because it's an animal food, it's not a human food. We buy our meat, we started buying our meat from Kendrick's, which is a human deli on South Bayless. And we spent a lot of money, and this is not to Kendrick's, but I did not believe in grass-fed beef. I thought that was hype. I thought the organic was hype. I'm an architect by profession. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know anything about dogs. I just know about buildings. But we started this business as a volunteer outreach. We purchased the food what we thought was from a really good place, and it is, Kendrick's. We bought corn-fed beef, and we got the hearts. We'd buy 100 pounds of meat from beef hearts. We would throw away 18, 15 pounds of fat off of those hearts. And that's supposed to be organ meat, not muscle meat. We purchased the product from Kern off of South Chippewa, or Cherokee, and we got grass-fed. And we buy 100 pounds of food, we'd have 0 fat. It is amazing to know the difference between grass-fed and corn-fed meat. I'm an avid believer for myself and family to eat grass-fed meat. So we switched to that because we wanted to get rid of the meat, or the fat. So we have, like I said, we work at St. Louis University. That is a commercial kitchen. It used to be the Incarnate Word Hospital. They trained us, if you will, on the cleanliness and the procedures on how to operate in a human commercial grade kitchen. The cleanliness, keeping everything sanitary. So we have our staff that we train on how to keep those standards even when we're not at cells. So our goal is to have a very high quality condition for the food to be prepared, a very high quality of product to sell. So we can try the very best that we can.
Okay, one more question.
I did a little work years ago in the category of companion animals, and I know the American Pet Products, at the time, the market in the United States was $65 billion. And from there you get to who's predisposed to natural food. Or actually, then you go to, from companion animals, you go to dogs, then you go to who's predisposed to natural food for the dog, and then who's predisposed to social consciousness.
Right.
What do you think your total market opportunity is? Have you calculated that?
Not in empirical numbers. It's more intuition as far as looking at the product. We are a little bit of a niche market. We have, when we go to farmer's market, Tower Grove is a great place to go. If you've never been to a farmer's market, go to Tower Grove Farmer's Market Saturday mornings, because they have really good food. The good vendors out there that are the real farmers. But we find that we probably get 500 to 1,000 people during a Saturday. And out of the people, we have probably 50% bring their dogs. And we sell the dog. If the dog is there, we make a sale 95% of the time. We sell our treats is the biggest thing, because that's a supplemental. The food, going to a raw ancestral diet, people are a little more apprehensive because they often get their dog on a diet that they've searched for and they finally found something. They don't want to change too much. But once somebody changes and looks at it, we get at least a 50 to 75% repetitive use. We have the market depth is significantly larger than we can accommodate in the St. Louis area. I don't know the real numbers, but we are selling every Saturday. We'll sell, $500 plus or minus of product at the Targo Grove market. We use Square, and we get about 50 to 60% of our sales are new people. And then we get the repetitive, so we keep growing. I think this is scalable. I'd like to do some more data research, but quite frankly, we've got a reasonably small volunteer group, and there's so many hours in the day. But we have a greater market than we have capacity to fill it, at least at this point. So.
All right, well, I think that wraps up our Q&A part. Thank you so much. Slide back up because we always like to end on what the community can do for you. So you articulated that great in your presentation. So there you go, guys. That's what the community can do.